Welcome to GCCars. My name is Eric and this is the 2022 Ford Maverick.
Say hello to Ford's newest pickup truck, the Maverick. This compact pickup is based on the...
Ow! Jesus Christ! Who put this stuff here?
That would be me, but could you get out of my shot, please?
What? You told me you got a brand new truck I'd like to see?
Yeah, it's like right there, dude.
I can't see it.
It's literally orange.
That ain't a truck.
What do you mean? It's got a bed.
That don't make it a truck.
Whatever, dude. Like, could you please just get out of the shot? I need to film a review here, please.
Alright.
Thank you. Anyhow, I think you got the idea. Let's just continue with the review, shall we?
As always, we're first going to take a look at the exterior, then we're going to take a look at the interior and the bed, and at the end, after we've driven it, we're going to sum it all up and compare it to, of course, the Hyundai Santa Cruz, which we already reviewed. If you want to see that review, it's just up in the top right hand corner for you. And if you end up liking this video, please make sure to subscribe and hit the bell, because that means I get cooler cars, because the more subscribers I have and views I get, the cooler the cars I can show you for free. We upload videos almost every week, so yeah, if you like it, consider subscribing. Anyhow, let's talk about the exterior. This Maverick in the Lariat trim has the best color option you can have on it, which is cyber orange. Normally I'm more of a yellow guy, but this cyber orange kind of bridges the gap between yellow and orange, and I think beautiful color, and it's nice and flaky. You have nice reflections. Good job, Ford. I like that. And I wouldn't call the Maverick beautiful, but it's a very utilitarian design, but I think it fits well, it works well, and if you look at the Santa Cruz and the Maverick, it already kind of like shows the differences. This is more, it's meant to be a truck. It's meant to be used. Anyhow, the front end, very fitting towards like the Ford design language, the Ford trucks design language. The new Ranger looks very similar. The headlights kind of have like, they're a bit reminiscent of the F-150 headlights, so I think that's very fitting. The orange is just awesome. Very boxy, utilitarian design. Like I said, I wouldn't call it beautiful, but I think it works for what it's supposed to be. And also in photos, this looks way smaller than it is. It's like 200 inches long almost. I think it's 199.7 inches long. So it's actually not really that small, even though it's a compact truck, but it's like the size of a mid-size SUV, just so you know. Anyhow, let's go back here to the back, and we have like big Maverick stamped in the back. Oh, and also we have this is a US-spec car. I don't know if I already mentioned it in the intro, but this is a US-spec vehicle. That's why we have the the Michigan plate manufacturer, of course. So cool to have kind of like a different plate. I love license plates. I collect them, so it's kind of cool for me to drive like a Michigan plated vehicle. I know I'm a little nerdy, but whatever. I'm proud of it. And so this is a US-spec vehicle, which means all the prices I'm going to give you are in US dollars, but of course we'll convert it over to Canadian for all my Canadian viewers. Anyhow, I would say take a look inside. So where can I store guns? I forgot you in here. My bad. No worries. What did you want to store? It's a truck, so I should be able to store guns in here. Oh, so it is a truck. So what's up with that ominous thunder? What ominous thunder? Guns. You're right. That is ominous. It's probably the YouTube algorithm trying to demonetize my video because we said a bad word. Did it succeed? I don't know yet. Anyway, you can option a locking safe in the center console, so take that as you will. I'll accept it. I gotta be honest, it seems like a cool truck. Ford Escape with a bed. Anyway, I'm gonna let you do your job now. Have fun. Interesting character, that guy. But we do look awfully similar. Anyhow, let's talk Maverick interior. And I always say, it's not about how much money you put in the interior, it's about what you do with the money you have and the materials you have. And this Ford Maverick is probably the best executed budget interior I have seen yet. This is genuinely amazing. Why? Well, if you look around, I'm just going to show you the white, or I've already shown you the wide angle of it. Almost every single surface is plastic. Like plastic, but it looks great. It looks actually really good. Like, it looks really good because we have texture plastic, different texture plastic. We have like kind of these shapes in there. Then we have, you know, like little things on the plastic that make it look a little different. Then we have this kind of like copperish looking like metal plates on there. It's plastic too. It just looks great though. It looks great, and all the touch points are really soft. This is nice and soft. Good job, Ford. Like, genuinely great job. I'm excited for this interior. I'm really excited. And the practicality is just, I like this interior. First of all, as you might be able to spot on this door, the handle doesn't go all the way. You gotta get used to that for like 2 days and then you got it. But it is so you can put a bigger bottle here. You can put like 2 big bottles in here. And then we have, next to our infotainment screen, we have a little cubby, which I right now use as a mask holder, because as of filming, we still require a mask in Canada, FYI, every American. But then up top, I can put my wallet. I have more storage here, more storage down there. And then, where do you want to put your phone? You have like a billion spots. Laying down right there, cool. Laying upright, so you don't have to put it in the cup holder, but you can still navigate if you need to. Great, you have so many spots. Like, this is so well thought out. I love seeing this. Like, I'm genuinely so excited for this interior. And it looks visually, it's just pleasing. But let's just go into a few details here. Our gauge cluster, we have a digital display flanked by a speedometer and tachometer. Speedometer obviously in miles per hour because this is a US-spec model. And then you can select a few different screens. Layout is pretty good, visibility is pretty good, but it's like utilitarian, right? So it's not too fancy. We have a trailer brake down here on this one. And then we have our infotainment, which is, I think, very well integrated, but it has like very, very few features. It is Sync 3 actually. I was a bit surprised by seeing them put Sync 3 in here because, well, Sync 4 is kind of like, since a year or two, they go to infotainment. That is probably cost savings on that part. And then you have plenty of physical controls for everything that you need. You have connectivity, you have all that. So it is very great in terms of usability. And you also have the window switch for the middle window in the back, which is electronic in this case. Aspect, we don't have a sunroof or anything, unfortunately. This would be nice, but, well, you got to make some cost cutting somewhere. But this is good. Oh, and the seats, we haven't talked about the seats. The seats are very comfy as well, and they look good in there, like bluish brown leather type. That's great, but they're not heated. We don't have a heated steering wheel, but we'll talk about that later. Let's take a look at the second row though, then we'll take a look at the bed. Okay, before we sit down, because this is a truck, let's open up, thank you. We have underseat storage, and probably the best one yet, because these are actually really, really deep storage areas. You can genuinely store a lot in there. So good job, Ford. But let's sit down. Oh my God, it's so cold out here. Can it finally warm up in Canada, please? Oh. Okay, so just like in the Mustang, the front seats kind of have a bit of a cutout. So more storage areas for people, yeah, I guess. More room for your knees. Nice. We have pouches on both sides. We have the same kind of door cubbies, door trim as we had in front. So not only is the armrest padded, but we have so much storage space. Literally 3 bottles in here. Boom. Right in there, in the door. Comfy. Of course, it's very upright as always in these trucks, right? But it's still pretty comfy. The seats are nicely bolstered. I'm good. 5'7", plenty of headroom, so that shouldn't be an issue for anyone. Once again, like tall passenger, tall driver, might get a little tight, but for me, that is perfect. Of course, cup holders right here. And then another cool little thing about this Maverick, just under our USB and USB-C plug, we do have, see this little slot. You might be thinking, what's that slot for? Well, that slot is so you can 3D print your own accessories. So if there's like something you want to hold, if you want to get more cup holders, bam, 3D print cup holders. You can actually download like the dimensions and all that. So you can just literally print it out, fit it in as you want. You can design whatever you need. You can design an iPhone 11 holder if you need that, or whatever. It's 3D printing, like your imagination is the limit. But they have like pre-implemented slots for that. Very cool idea. I like this interior. I like this interior a lot. Let's talk about the bed though, and then we finally go driving. Okay, let's do this quick because it's really cold. Our tailgate is not damped, unfortunately. That would be nice. But we have a 33.3 cubic feet bed, which is 6.6 cubic feet bigger than that of the Santa Cruz, and that's quite a bit. And then, of course, we have, you know, little cubbies here where we can put like drinks or something. The hooks right here double as mounting points and as bottle openers, which is pretty cool. We have little yogurt holders in here, as you can see on the video you see right now. That's pretty neat. And then, yeah, this bed liner obviously is an option. You can have it in a package as well. And then we don't have any steps, so if you want to go in, you have to do the old school way, but it's not too tall, so it's all right. Anyhow, that is the bed of the Ford Maverick, the main reason why you probably buy it. And I highly suggest you check out if you want to buy the Maverick, the Ford site, because they have like so many details on what you can do. You can do like 2x4s, kind of divided. You can 3D print stuff for that. Really a lot of features. But let's go driving. I'm way too cold. I'm sorry, guys. Canada, I damn you. I love you, Canada. Okay, now on the road here in the 2022 Ford Maverick Lariat, and as always, we start off with the launch. Turn off traction control using our funky looking traction control button. And now we want to switch into sport mode. A little bit of snow on the road, and it started snowing actually, even though the weather forecast said it's going to be a day with mild clouds. Right on. So we'll see how much grip we have. All the snow. 30 degrees. Alright, wow, that's actually more than I thought. Okay, I don't want to floor it through the snow. I meant to say 3,000 RPM. And we let it go, and whoo, she's actually going pretty well. I had to put considerable effort into getting my right arm back onto the wheel, and that's surprising, honestly, because we only have a turbocharged 2-liter Ecoboost inline 4 producing 250 horsepower and 277 pound-feet of torque. But honestly, it feels quicker, especially from the get-go in this all-wheel drive version of the Maverick. It does feel pretty punchy. And on the highway, you never really have an issue with it not being like quick enough or anything. That's definitely good. And then we do have our 8-speed automatic. It's of course front-wheel drive based in this one. You can have it as a front-wheel drive car, the front-wheel drive truck, even as a hybrid, which is probably the most interesting option. Might be a little underpowered, but that's certainly something I would look at if I were to buy this Maverick. And we're going to test the transmission here in a second, but I want to talk about one thing that's always important when we're talking about trucks and engine and drivetrains in general, and that is towing. This Maverick has the 4K tow package, so it has an extended tow capacity of 4,000 pounds, has some upgrades that allow that, but even with that additional option, we're still 1,000 pounds short of what the Hyundai Santa Cruz could tow. That one was able to do 5,000 pounds. That's just a little thing to maybe think about. 1,000 pounds isn't always like the biggest difference, but especially when we're talking about amounts on the lower side of like the towing range, it can make the difference. So just be aware of that. But I want to test the 8-speed automatic and how quick it activates. We're in normal mode right now, and we're sitting at 50 kilometers an hour, 30 miles an hour for every North American. I'm gonna floor it. Very quick reaction, very quick shift. Takes a second to kind of like get the power down. It was like a second delay, but it reacted very quickly. Good job, Ford. Let's talk about suspension a bit. I want to talk about something else, because I mentioned that we don't have heated seats, we don't have heated steering wheel, and there's a lot of tech we're kind of missing here in this Maverick compared especially to the Santa Cruz, and that is because all that tech and all the fancy stuff is locked behind the Lariat luxury package, and that is a whopping $3,700 US. In Canada, it's 4,700 Canadian dollars. That's too big of a package, Ford. Okay, that is a little big, especially like in Canada. Give us heated seats, heated steering wheel, maybe heated mirrors for like $800 as a package. Thank you, I want to option that, because it gets pretty cold even here in Ontario. In like Canada's Florida, it's still cold, but like, yeah, like that would be a separate package, would be cool. And then you also have the Bang & Olufsen in there. You have evasive steering, you have active lane centering. If we go by what the Escape is like, it's actually pretty good, and a lot of other stuff. So I wish they would, you know, just package that a little different. Anyhow, suspension test. It is very soft. It is surprisingly truckish. This is definitely more closer to what you would expect a truck to be like in terms of how it drives and how it feels and how it rides. It's, you know, it's a little more wallowy. It's a little more indirect in terms of like how it reacts to it, but it's still not bad or anything. But you know, so there's a lot of body roll going on. So it definitely, compared to the Santa Cruz, this feels more like a truck, which depending on who you are and what you want might be a good thing, might be a bad thing. I was very comfortable throughout. The suspension doesn't eliminate all the bumps and all the vibrations. You do feel them, but they get dampened out pretty well overall. So I wasn't really comfortable. There weren't any bumps where I was like, oh, this was uncomfortable. But you certainly are aware, even these like kind of minor imperfections, which there's a lot on this road, they're just like very small. You do feel all of them, but they don't really disturb you. Overall, I'm pretty happy. It's just, you know, it's like this will be a little more truckish than the Santa Cruz. But I was talking about the package because I want to keep talking about that. So like I said, you had like heated seats, heated mirrors, evasive steering, lane centering assist, blind spot monitoring, Bang & Olufsen sound system, and like a whole lot of other stuff in one single package. And I just like, I wish it wouldn't be like that. I assume they did it to save costs because they had like a billion different options. Like the more you can customize a car, the more expensive it gets for the manufacturer because they have to have all these different options in the factory line. That's also why you can only get one body type and only the crew cab version of this Maverick, and not like a single cab, which would probably be pretty attractive, honestly. But that is too much. Generally, that is too much. Give me heated seats, give me heated steering wheel, and then make a luxury package that's like maybe $500 or $1,000 less, which gives me all the tech features. That's like kind of the minor thing I have. See a little handling. Of course, it's going to understeer a little bit. We're on winter tires. It's sub-freezing, so it's not going to be great. And like I said, it's pretty soft overall. But it's still decently. It's very comfy to drive. Very comfy to drive due to it being like kind of truckish. So that's good. I liked it actually. I enjoyed it. This road is just so terrible. Like, you guys, if you aren't from Canada, I don't know, maybe it's like in the northern like American states it's the same. I haven't been there yet, but oh my god, roads just die here. Like, you have it cold for like a month or two with like snow, freezing and all that, and you have like big chunks of road just missing once the snow is gone. You like literally just have like 5-inch potholes and stuff like that. So it's a little, you gotta watch out for that. Anyhow, I do want to talk about tech. I've just touched upon that in this one aspect, even though it's a Lariat, but we don't have the Lariat luxury package, we basically have like very little tech. We don't have blind spot monitoring. We don't have like all the safety tech. We have like cruise control, but it's not adaptive, so I never use it. We don't even have lane keep assist. I don't use lane keep assist unless it's lane centering assist. But tech-wise, this is really like aspect. It's really very, very bare bones. But on the flip side, even though we don't have the Bang & Olufsen sound system, the one we have, the standard one, is actually pretty good. It sounds very good. I don't think you need to upgrade to the B&O, especially with the experience I have with the B&Os and Fords. They're not bad, but they're not much better than this. So, not really worth it from that regard. Really, the Lariat luxury package is worth it for if you really need the heated seats and heated steering wheel, so everybody in northern states or in Canada, and all the driving assists, which are really nice to have. But 3,700 US, 4,700 Canadian is a tough pill to swallow. So you got to think about that. But I've talked about everything I wanted to talk about here in the Maverick while on the road. So let's sum it all up in the final thoughts, give it a verdict, compare it to the Santa Cruz, and give my own opinion on what I think if you should buy this or not. We'll see you there. Okay, final thoughts on the 2022 Ford Maverick Lariat. I really like it. I think it's great. Straight up saying it like that. I think Ford put out an excellent product here. I said my conclusion will be a little different normally than the other reviewers out there when I compare the Maverick and the Santa Cruz, because I think they fulfill different purposes. If you want to have an SUV with a bit of practicality, go with the Santa Cruz. But if you actually want to have a small truck to do stuff with, to do work with, or whatever you want to do with the truck, get the Maverick, because it's just so much better. Yes, it tows 1,000 pounds less, but in every other regard, it is more capable as a work vehicle. And it's just a hobby vehicle. The lifestyle, like the Santa Cruz is a lifestyle vehicle. It's cool, it says something about you, and hey, if you like that, go for it. But if you actually want to use your truck for something, the Maverick is fantastic. Speaking of price, what's it at? As spec, we're looking at $32,160. Not Canadian, US dollars, Canadian conversion, somewhere around on your screen. And I think that's a good price. That is a very good price for what you get. Spec as it is compared to the Santa Cruz in Canadian, because I had it in Canadian rate, we're looking at $8,000 less. And even if you put in the Lariat premium package, you still save about $3,500. And I think it's worth it. Like I said, lifestyle vehicle, Santa Cruz, work truck, Maverick, it's like so decisively in that regard. I really like it, and I think Ford put out a great product. Anyhow, I want to thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the review. Like I said in the beginning, if you'd like to, make sure to subscribe and hit the bell, because that makes sure that I can give you more reviews of all sorts of cars coming out. And yeah, and also maybe one day I can buy a Maverick. So yeah, there you go. Subscribe, hit the bell, like, and all that. That helps me buy a Maverick. Anyhow, thank you so much for watching, guys. I hope you liked it, and I hope I'll see you in the next one. Thank you, and goodbye.